You've worked with choreographers, you've worked with dancers, and I just wondered, doing this, what's been different for you, and what there is from what you've done that you want to take forward for the future.
Yours is on that mine. That was a long question. What we say it again?
It's going really well so far. What's been different about doing this show, and what you would want to take forward from the future as well?
Well, a great thing is it's instrumental music for us writing. It's totally different from writing pop songs. There's no lyrics, really. We had a script to follow, which I think we really like that every day you go in the studio and you know what scene you've got to write and what it's got to represent in the show. It's a really sort of professional change for us.
Yeah, as for the future, oh God, that's loud, isn't it? As for the future, we've kind of done a lot of choreography now, and I think it'd be quite nice to sort of reinvent the rock show and you know, see what we can do there. But also, I quite like, there was a rehearsal on earlier this week, and they were changing the lights with these trains that went up and down. I quite like the idea of choreography using machines.
Mechanistic choreography.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been done, but it might be quite interesting.
It'd be a good way to go. Javier, you quite rarely, in fact, you had the music like at the beginning of rehearsals. We did lots of talking before, we made some changes, talking to Matthew Dunster, who was our dramaturg and helped write the original scenario from the Hans Christian Andersen story. So it's quite rare that you should have a full score at the beginning of rehearsals. But there's lots of other elements that come in later, including some of the video, of course the lights, and the set, and I just wondered how that had fitted together with what you had made on the music and what came into play, with some of which I think we really only had a chance to look at actually once we were in the theatre.
Yeah, I'm so happy she's signing with my accent. I mean, funny enough, it's not. I normally have the score before I start any work because I've always worked with dead composers. So they were with me from the beginning, and I didn't have to respond if I changed things about. But it was a pleasure to have it. But then I also knew that I had constant communication with the boys about things that we may need to work theatrically. And they were very accommodating in doing these changes, especially throughout the previous bits of rehearsal. So it was great to have it from the beginning, and then great to feel organic towards the end. So it just worked quite all right, I think.
Because Paul, our DTR sound designer, did do quite a lot of work in terms of, I suppose, threading, linking some of the sections together and sound effects, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think it was a big wish of mine to have Paul Arditi, who I've always wanted to work with, because I knew that he would give theatrical form to a lot of the linking. I mean, we just knew that we had, at the end of the day, we had a show to put on, a show that had to tell a story, and we know that he was the element that was going to be the glue between the music and the choreography.
Because we don't have long, because there's rather a lot of you, I would quite like to hand over, because I'm sure a lot of you are here especially to ask some questions. So if you've got some questions for the boys or for Javier, then put your hand up and shout very loud. Yeah, the gentleman there with the blue shirt.